Hello, David here at merchantaccounts.ca. Today I'm going to talk about what you can do to improve your chargeback counts and reduce your chargeback rates or your statistics. Now, I've produced other content on the Visa and Mastercard chargeback thresholds, and you can find that information on the merchantaccounts.ca YouTube channel. If you want all the details, you can dig into it, and if you're not familiar with it, I suggest that you do. But high level, as a merchant, you have to keep your chargeback rates under 1%. In this video, what I'm going to discuss is a strategy that some businesses can employ to help you achieve this and come in under those thresholds. Stay tuned, we'll dig in 1 second. Now, some types of products or services are simply going to have more disputes than others. Now, in my left hand here, I have a can of delicious cranberry ginger ale. Now, it was wonderful. I also might have purchased a speculative crypto money-making investment advice, paper. Now, which of those two things am I more likely to potentially be unhappy with? If we're willing to acknowledge that some businesses have more disputes than others, then what can you do if you have a business that tends to get too many chargebacks? Now, in this discussion, I don't want to center on fraud. There's so many modern tools for fighting fraud, like 3D Secure. What I want to talk about today is friendly fraud. Cardholders are now using other dispute reason codes to win a chargeback, where before they might have just claimed, hey, I didn't authorize this transaction. Now, since that's no longer possible, cardholders are claiming other things. Hey, I didn't get what I was promised, and they might bend the rules in some cases, but they still get to do the chargeback, which is a problem for you, the merchant. Now, this doesn't have to be a complicated video. I can get to the bottom line pretty quickly. Why don't you find a complementary service, product or service, that's related to what you sell? It costs less money, and you can use this product or service to help adjust your chargeback thresholds down. Now, I'm going to give an example. Let's say you have an electronics repair business that specializes in really difficult to repair electronics. Your policy might be, okay, send it to us. We're going to charge a $100 fee. We're going to spend up to an hour and a half looking at it. And if it's repairable after that, it'll cost you the parts plus $50 per hour to fix. But in some cases, people are going to send stuff in that's beyond repair. It's too broken. And those customers might end up charging it back, even though your policy was really reasonable and really clear. Now, in this example, there are probably a couple things you could do, but what I'm talking about is adding a new product or service line that's less likely to result in a chargeback. So for example, you could add a new $5 service where you get on the phone with the customer or a Google Meet or something, and they show the item and you talk about it to help them to determine if it's likely able to be fixed. Now, most people won't bother charging back a $5 transaction. And for every $5 transaction that's not charged back, it's improving your stats and chargeback ratios. It's important that it has to be a real and legitimate service. However, if you can generate a lot of sales for this new service that don't get charged back, it's going to massively help your overall stats. Now, this is a good strategy for any business that deals with customers who are unreasonable. Another example might be people who are purchasing something in relation to filing for bankruptcy. Now, these folks are more likely to do a chargeback simply because they're hard up for cash. Now, it doesn't make it right if they file an unreasonable chargeback, but this might be the reality of your business. So if you can find a service for them that provides a ton of overwhelming value for a very minimal cost, they're not going to charge it back. I do admit that this video is kind of living on the edge of the type of advice I give, and it's not for every business. However, I have to acknowledge some people do have businesses that just get more disputes, and they're very legitimate businesses. It's just their product line. And it's very hard. I often find it has to do a lot of the demographics of the customer base of these merchants. In that case, what's your options? You can try to change the habits of your customers. That's pretty much impossible. You can change the demographics of your customer, in other words, change your customer base, but your business might not allow for that. Or you might just provide something of overwhelming value that they hopefully won't charge back, which I think is a good strategy. Like I said, this won't work for every business, but I'm certain there are some businesses out there that could benefit from it. So in summary, if you have a high chargeback type of business or a high dispute type of business, try to find a related product line that you can sell hopefully a lot of for transactions that won't resolve in a dispute. It's very simple, but a lot of people do not think of this. And with that, I think I've covered the base for this topic. If you have any questions, reach out to us at merchantaccounts.ca. And I thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye now.